Once upon a time, in a bustling city filled with towering skyscrapers and crowded streets, there lived a beggar. Every day, he sat on a busy corner, holding out a small tin can, hoping for the kindness of strangers. He had grown used to people dropping coins in his can without a second glance. Life felt stagnant, and he had long accepted his fate. But one fateful day, something changed. It began when a passerby, instead of dropping a coin, handed him a small note. The note read, "If you want more, give more. Work for what you seek." The beggar stared at the note, puzzled and slightly annoyed. What could he possibly give? He had nothing but his ragged clothes and his tin can. Yet, the words lingered in his mind, stirring something deep within him. That night, as he lay on a cold pavement, he couldn't shake the thought, what if I could offer something in return? The idea seemed absurd at first, but it planted a seed of curiosity. The next morning, he decided to try something different. Instead of just sitting with his tin can, he picked up an old broom he found in a nearby alley and began sweeping the dusty street corner where he usually sat. At first, people walked by without noticing. But as the day went on, some paused, intrigued by his efforts. A shopkeeper from a nearby store approached him and said, "You're doing a good job keeping this area clean. Here, take this." He handed the beggar a warm meal and a few coins. The beggar's heart swelled with a strange new feeling, pride. For the first time, he felt he had earned something. Encouraged, he continued sweeping every day. Soon, people began to notice his dedication. Some gave him money, while others offered food or small gifts. The beggar realized that by giving something of value, even as simple as a clean street, he received more in return. The words on the note echoed in his mind. "Give more, and you will receive more." One day, a well-dressed man stopped to watch him work. The man asked, "Why are you doing this?" The beggar replied, "I've learned that if I give something, people are more willing to help me. It's better than just sitting and waiting." The man nodded thoughtfully and said, "I like your attitude. How would you like a real job?" The beggar was stunned. A job? He hadn't imagined such a possibility. The man handed him a business card and told him to visit an office nearby. The next day, the beggar, nervous but determined, walked into the office. The man offered him a position as a janitor. It wasn't glamorous, but it was steady work, and for the first time in years, the beggar felt a sense of purpose. As months turned into years, the beggar's life transformed. He worked diligently, earning the respect of his colleagues. He saved every penny he could, living frugally and dreaming of a better future. Along the way, he learned new skills, took on more responsibilities, and climbed the ranks. Eventually, he saved enough money to start his own small cleaning business. But the story doesn't end there. Here comes the twist. One day, while managing his thriving business, he came across a young beggar sitting on the same corner where he had once sat. The boy held out a tin can, his eyes filled with despair. The man, no longer a beggar, but a successful entrepreneur, approached him. Instead of dropping a coin, he handed the boy a broom and said, "If you want more, give more. Work for what you seek." The boy looked at him, puzzled, just as he had once been. But the man's words carried the weight of experience. He shared his story with the boy, offering him not just advice, but also a job in his company. The cycle of transformation continued, proving that a single act of determination could ripple outward, changing lives. The man's journey from a beggar to a businessman became an inspiration to everyone who heard it. He often said, "It all started with a simple idea, to give before expecting to receive." That's the formula for true success. Let's rewind to understand how this transformation was possible. The beggar's first few days of sweeping the streets were not easy. His body ached from the physical labor, and his spirit wavered when people ignored his efforts. But he held on to the words of the note. Every coin he earned felt like a victory, a step forward from where he had been. The shopkeeper who first noticed him became a mentor of sorts. Hard work and honesty, the shopkeeper often said, are the keys to winning people's trust. He allowed the beggar to use his store's water to clean the broom and even gave him a small cart to collect garbage. With these tools, the beggar's efforts expanded. Soon, he was cleaning not just one corner but the entire street. His dedication caught the attention of other business owners. They began paying him small amounts to clean their storefronts. The beggar's income grew, and with it his confidence. He used some of his earnings to buy secondhand clothes and better tools for his work. Gradually, he shed the label of beggar and became known as the street cleaner. The well-dressed man who offered him a job was not just any passerby. He was the owner of a large cleaning services company. The man had been observing the beggar's progress for weeks, impressed by his work ethic and determination. When he offered the job, he wasn't just giving charity, he was investing in potential. At the company, the beggar faced new challenges. He had to adapt to structured work hours, learn to use professional cleaning equipment, and interact with clients. It wasn't easy, but he approached every task with the same dedication that had carried him this far. His supervisors noticed his efforts and began assigning him more responsibilities. Over time, the beggar's earnings allowed him to rent a small room and enroll in evening classes. He learned basic business skills, which proved invaluable when he decided to start his own cleaning service. His first clients were the shopkeepers who had supported him during his days on the street. Word of his reliability and professionalism spread, and his business grew. Years later, the man's business had expanded beyond his wildest dreams. He employed dozens of workers, many of whom were once in the same position he had been. He believed in giving second chances, just as he had been given one. But his most fulfilling moment came when he revisited the street corner where his journey began. Seeing the young beggar, there was like looking into a mirror of the past. The boy's despair reminded him of his own struggles, but it also reignited his belief in the power of transformation. Helping the boy wasn't just an act of kindness. It was a way of honoring his own journey. Thank you for watching this motivational story. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content. And don't forget to leave a comment below. We'd love to know what types of stories inspire you the most. Your feedback helps us create content that resonates with you. See you in the next story.